Good morning, everyone, and welcome to our Mind the Moments Tuesday morning gathering brought to you by Harvard Pilgrim Healthcare. And as you all know, this is a place where we invite experienced mindfulness instructors to speak with us about mindfulness and tell us what it means to them, as well as to discuss as a community how we can incorporate these practices into our daily lives. I'm Suzanne Rowe Palacino, and I am very happy to be here this morning with Christine O'Shaughnessy, mindfulness instructor and longtime meditator. Good morning, Christine.
Good morning, Suzanne. Thank you for inviting me today.
Very happy to have you here and happy to see all the folks joining along with us. So today we'll start off with a question for the group, and then Christine will lead us in a guided practice and share some thoughts with us. And then after that, we'll have a chance for folks to comment or add some questions into the chat. So if you can go to the bottom of your screen and click on the chat. And if you're interested in seeing comments coming in real time, you can just click on the drop-down menu that says panelists and attendees and click on that option, and you can see the comments and questions coming in real time. So Christine, what question do you have for our group this morning?
Okay, I'm going to start with the question, what is a pattern of holding that you feel in your body or in your mind? And I'll give an example of what I mean. So when I'm under stress or I have something difficult going on in my life, I find that it lands in my body. For me, I feel it in my abdomen. Sometimes I feel it in my heart. And so for me, it lands in the physical body and I hold my stuff there. But for some of us, we find that it's in the mind where we get stuck on something and we just keep repeating it in the mind. We keep revisiting it. And so that's what I want to start with. What are your patterns of holding in your body or in your mind? And the practice today is going to be addressing that. And then we'll check in with that question at the end.
So someone has shared my neck, shoulders, and my heart and mind. And then someone else has said rumination. You know, it's funny that the first two people that added into the chat are the two things that I do. So everything lands here for me, neck and shoulders. That's my stress physical. But I also do find I ruminate as well, depending on the situation and if it's connected to my kids, it goes in a different place. You know, it's interesting how certain stresses might land in a different location.
Yes, absolutely. And
So
that is interesting to point out, depending on what it's related to, that attachment. Is it a big heart centered thing, right? It's so interesting. Yeah.
yes, exactly. Someone has shared in their gut,
Mm.
jaw clenching. Yeah, it's definitely something that people connect with, and also in the mind. So yeah, there's a number of different experiences there, but yeah, so
Okay.
you're welcome to go right into the practice if you'd like, Christine.
Great. I will.
All right.
So, for everyone out there, you're welcome to practice in whatever way feels comfortable for you today. Meditation can be done in any posture. If you'd like to stand, knowing that you're going to be sitting all day, please feel free to do so. You may be at work sitting in a chair, but even if you want to just sit on the floor, when we change postures, sometimes it sends a signal to the mind that this is our time to practice. We're dedicating time to this and effort. And it really allows us to stay awake and aware easier. If you're home, maybe you're able to lie down for the practice. All right, so let's begin. So, picking your posture of choice, beginning to just feel your feet connecting to the floor and taking a deep breath in. And as you breathe out, just begin by exhaling out of the mouth. You may find it helpful to say the word ha, taking another deep breath in. And as you breathe out, just letting your shoulders soften, beginning to allow your arms and legs to feel heavy and weighted. And taking another deep breath in, and as you exhale, You're welcome to close your eyes if you would like, or you can let your gaze be downward and soft. And then releasing that deep breathing technique and begin to rest in the natural rhythm of your breath. Beginning to feel the air coming in and out of the nose. And as you breathe in, begin to just allow the breath to gently infuse the body with breath energy. And as you breathe out, letting go of anything that you're holding on to. Breathing in, inviting the breath into the body. And as you breathe out, releasing, relaxing, and letting go. Breathing in and breathing out. And begin to let your attention settle in the heart and in the chest. You may notice the gentle rhythm of your breath here, feeling the breath rising and falling in the chest. See if you can encourage a sense of widening and softening in the heart and chest space. Slowing down from the momentum of what needs to be done and finding refuge in a place of safety in our heart, feeling the breath gently moving in and out. And today we're going to practice compassion or loving kindness towards ourselves and towards another. So to begin, it may be helpful to just imagine something that warms your heart. Maybe a picture of a sunrise or a sunset, a pet that you adore, a child. And just breathing in that sense of ease and peacefulness, and breathing out, feeling that warmth spreading through the heart. And then begin to just imagine yourself in your mind's eye. And begin to offer yourself this dedication of care by repeating silently to yourself the following phrases. And with each phrase, imagine that the phrase is just moving through every cell of your body. May I be well and happy. May I be peaceful and at ease. Ease of mind and ease of heart. May I be well and happy. May I be peaceful and at ease in my mind and in my heart. May I be well and happy. May I be peaceful and at ease. If your mind wanders, gently returning to the phrases. May I be well and happy. May I be peaceful and at ease in my mind and in my heart. And as you repeat these phrases, just noticing subtle sensations in the body. May I be well and happy. May I be peaceful and at ease. Ease of mind and ease of heart. And then beginning to call to mind somebody that you would like to send these words of care to, wishing somebody well. Take a moment to just imagine that person in your mind's eye, or imagine them in a place where you see them most often. Allow your attention to settle there and begin to repeat the phrases. May you be well and happy. May you be peaceful and at ease. Ease of mind and ease of heart. Or you may prefer to say, I wish for you to be well and happy. I wish for you to be peaceful and at ease. Ease of mind and ease of heart. May you be well and happy. May you be peaceful and at ease. May you be well and happy. May you be peaceful and at ease. Notice when the mind moves into thought or has a comment about the phrases, just noticing and returning to the phrases. May you be well and happy. May you be peaceful and at ease. Even if the phrases feel mechanical in nature, what's most important is the intention to open and awaken the heart. May you be well and happy. May you be peaceful and at ease. And then we're going to offer these words of kindness out to everyone, everywhere, in all directions, to all beings, those seen and unseen, those known and unknown. Everyone to the north, to the south, to the east, to the west. Imagine that you're radiating this out in all directions from the center of your heart. May all beings be well and happy. May all beings be peaceful and at ease. in their mind and in their heart. May all beings everywhere be well and happy. May all beings everywhere be peaceful and at ease. May all beings be well and happy. May all beings be peaceful and at ease in their mind and in their heart. May all beings be well and happy. May all beings be peaceful and at ease. Ease of mind and ease of heart. And you're welcome to continue with the phrases or begin to just rest back in the heart, feeling the rhythm of your breath here. And notice how your body feels. And gently coming back to feeling your feet connecting to the floor. Feeling your whole body sitting here. And as you rest in the breath, notice when the mind becomes active and gently turn it back to the breath, back to the heart. Resting in this inherent goodness, our true nature. Returning to refuge in the heart, a place of safety. As you breathe in and out. And then letting your attention turn gently towards sound. Noticing sounds inside or outside of the room that you're in. You may notice the sound of your own breath or the sound of silence. And then allowing your attention to turn towards the sound of bells, tracking them all the way to the end. If your mind goes into thought, gently return it to the sound of the bells. And when you're ready, gently opening your eyes if they were closed, coming back into this space. And notice how you feel. Notice what's happening. And then I'm going to have you return to that original question. So, what's a pattern of holding that you may have felt in the body or in the mind as you practiced today?
Thank you, Christine.
You're welcome.
That was wonderful.
So, what I find is this practice of compassion, loving kindness, when we get stuck in our thoughts, that stickiness of the mind, when we turn to these type of practices, it really helps us to move away from that old conditioned patterning and to rest in the heart, purifying the heart and resting in what's good and wholesome and beneficial. So when we get stuck in that rumination, just coming back to these phrases is a reminder to wake up to what is good in our lives.
Yeah, and I've heard people mention how regular practice with this kind of bringing these thoughts to ourselves is very helpful. But when folks are starting, like in the very beginning of their practice, what do you recommend if people are coming up with resistance to it? Like the maybe feeling that we were talking earlier, that maybe we're not worthy of this loving kindness, or maybe it's hard for us to find someone that we want to send the intentions to. So how do you recommend handling that?
What my teachers have taught me is start with what you're able to start with. So if you're feeling undeserving of it and sending it to yourself, then start with sending it to somebody else or to something very neutral, like a pet. Um, or, if you're a gardener and you love your garden and you send it to your garden, wherever you can start to begin to open and awaken the heart. And then we broaden from that. And even just opening up and being curious about, well, why do I feel like it's too hard to send it to myself, or I feel undeserving? And just questioning it very gently in the mind and noticing what arrives and just let it be. And then turn towards what is accessible for you and easy. And then we build upon it. It takes time to really break down those barriers in the heart that we build up as protection, right? And so sometimes we just have to remind ourselves to just land there again. This is actually our refuge.
Right. Yeah, that's good recommendation. Someone has mentioned, my very angry and violent cat could use some loving kindness.
That is great. Yes, that's a perfect place to start.
Maybe your cat will pick up on your feelings of loving kindness towards it, and will start to mellow out a little bit.
Yes, yes.
That's
Oh,
great. I think people really connected to the way you've led the practice, and returning to the heart, I think is very helpful, because that does seem to be a place where, I don't know, it's always a positive feeling, returning to my heart. And anytime that I feel that things are just overwhelming, just even putting my hand on my heart makes the connection even stronger. So
yes, yes,
I like that recommendation. Well,
yeah.
thank you so much for your guidance and for your practice this morning. Um, I think this is a wonderful way to start the day, and folks seem very grateful for what you've taken us through here.
Great. Are there any questions? I'm happy to answer any questions too, Delia, if I'm very.
So there's
I
a
like.
comment year practicing metta and loving kindness daily, I found very transforming. It may feel silly at first, but it really works. I've heard many
Yes.
folks say that. So that's, I think it does take some time.
It does. In one of my practices, when I've done week-long loving kindness retreats with Sharon Salzberg or in Sofer, one of the practices is sending it to someone neutral. So someone you don't know, but you see every day. So the person who pumps your gas or pours your coffee at your favorite coffee shop. And sometimes that's a great place to start because it just reminds us that we all are connected, right? We all are in this human body, this human condition, and we all bring certain experiences. And so trying to offer it to someone neutral is really interesting. And then every time you go back in and you keep seeing that person, you start to find out you just have this deep care for them and you don't even know them. And that's where I find people really feel that awakening of the heart. Like, wow, I care for this person that I really don't know. So that's another way to start too. If you find it's too hard to send it to yourself or to someone you know specifically, start with someone neutral.
Mm. Someone's question here,
Yeah.
quickly, if we are sending out loving kindness to someone who is ill, does it make a difference to us in our mind if we visualize the person healthy or ill as they currently are?
Oh, that's a great question. Um, I think it would be whatever you feel more comfortable with. If imagining them being healthy is your way of just imagining them returning to health, that might feel comforting for you. So I think I would do it with whatever feels most comfortable for you.
Yeah.
What would you think, Suzanne?
It's interesting. I almost feel that I would want to visualize them in their current state, but having just a feeling of, I don't know, contentment or a way
Mm,
to find a feeling within their illness of, you know, of peace somehow with that. So if,
yes.
if it's something that's short term, that would be great to picture them healthy. But if it's something that's long term, maybe to picture them getting to the point where they found a comfortable place within their illness somehow.
Yes. That's a good point. Yes.
Mm. Thank you
Okay.
for the question. That's a very good one.
Yeah.
Okay,
So,
folks, thank you again for joining. Did you have
yeah,
something, Christine?
I'm going to leave everyone with a phrase for today. If you can just remind yourself of, can I return to my original brightness, brightness of heart? Even if you put a post it note on your screen today, brightness, or just how do I return to my original brightness? And it's really through this practice of loving kindness. And hopefully that will fuel you for your day ahead.
Sounds wonderful. Thank you so much again, Christine, for joining us this morning.
You're welcome.
Yes, and thank you to all the folks joining online. And as a reminder, we are back here at 8:30 on Thursday and every Tuesday and Thursday. So we are so happy to have you join and engage this morning and be here together to practice. That brings so much uh, positive feeling, I think, and community to all of us. So we look forward to seeing you again soon. Thanks for joining.
Thank you, everyone. Have